container. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
So
She has 2 cups grated in her container that she's going to dump in the bowl.
that's great. Isn't that amazing? I've got all grated right in there. I love that, Rachel. Would that save you a lot of time?
Oh, yes.
Now, when your
And
kids
it
were
won't be a
little,
mess, because it'd be all over the place with me.
exactly. Did your kids want to not eat meat when they were little? Mine wanted to not eat meat, so I had this trick. I would grate cooked chicken on my grate measure, and I'd mix it with the cheese in their quesadillas, and they got protein. And they were halfway through before they figured out it's protein.
How you doing there, Jackie?
I'm doing good, and I left 2 cans for you. Would you like to?
Yeah, she was getting excited over here, Rachel.
Jackie's like ripping into that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to dump. Now you notice I'm not draining any juices, right, guys? Oh, well, you're going to get the recipe online, right? Online, the recipe will be online. The cans, we have stewed tomatoes, 2 cans of stewed tomatoes, juice and everything, dump them in. A can of pinto beans. I don't go with generic. Sorry, I don't like the taste of generics. There is a difference. Juice and everything, dump it in. This is why it's called dump soup. But Tucker calls it taco soup. Okay, we have a can of Rotel chilies. All right. So it's the tomatoes with the diced green chilies in there. Okay. You know the other thing I like about the cans being open like this, I can rinse it out, and I never pour grease down the drain, so this way I always have a clean can underneath the sink to pour my grease into, because grease will clog up a sink faster than anything in the world. Okay. And squeeze the hand, squeeze the hand, and pull. Nope, you're twisting, that's why.
Oh, okay. Oh, you go straight up.
Go straight up. There you go. And turn your hand just like this. There you go. So that's a trick,
Okay,
right?
I thought you had to open it like a, like a can.
Right.
You just lift straight up.
Right, so what Rachel learned is you lift straight up. Don't twist, don't peel.
See, that's a new one. I
Straight
didn't know
up.
that.
Crank it like.
So you don't need your wrist action.
You don't need the wrist action. So we got a can of whole kernel corn, juice and everything. We got one more can here to open. Okay. And we're going to use our silicone spatula. How many of you have spatulas at home? Anybody have spatulas at home? And do your spatulas go like this at the top? Anybody's spatulas bend at the top? Yeah? Well, I will tell you, if your spatulas bend at the top, it's time for Tupperware silicone spatulas. They'll never stain. I use this one for everything, spaghetti sauce, chili, doesn't matter. Yeah. You just got to practice with it. Come over here in front of it. It's okay. I know it's your backside, but it's okay. Close it tight. There you go. And straight up. Ta-da! There you go. So, go ahead and put that right on top of there, Rachel. Thank you. All right, so now, in the interest of time, we've already cooked the ground beef. So this has just a few more ingredients that are going to go into it. So we're going to pretend like we just, I still need your help, don't leave. So we have a few more ingredients that are going to go into this. So we cooked our ground beef. And John, you came over for dinner last night. You saw what I cooked my ground beef in. Yep. You cook your ground beef. What are those holes going to do when you cook your ground beef? Drain off the fat and all the fillers and stuff that are in your meat. So now all the junk is down here, and I scrape it out and I put it into one of my empty cans. And I have my ground beef. Ground beef just gets scraped into here. People always ask me, does meat really brown in the microwave? Yes, it does. Now, if you're working with something white, how many of you have put chicken breasts in the oven and not put anything on them? Anybody ever done that? And what color is the chicken breast when it comes out of the oven?
White.
White. So, whether you're cooking in the oven or you're cooking in the microwave, you must season your meat and give it a little paprika or something, a little oil, so that it browns. So when you cook meat that's white in the microwave, put a little vegetable oil or olive oil on it, rub some seasonings that have color, like your paprika or Southwest Chipotle. That's going to color your meat. It's not going to be white, because white meat is not appetizing. It just isn't. Okay, so we've cooked our ground beef, and we're going to dump our ground beef in here. One of you guys can do that for me. You're welcome to come on over here and Jackie, what do you think of this product?
Awesome, I love it.
What do you like about it?
I like the fact that you can actually make ahead of time, meals ahead of time. And so like the way you made this ground beef, I can make 2 or 3 batches and stick it in the rocking syrup.
Right, so you make a mess
Make
once
a mess one time.
and feed your family 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And your mess is in the microwave, right? And all the splatters are on the cover,
Yep.
not in the microwave, and not all over the kitchen. Because even if you don't see that grease splattering around when you're cooking, when you start looking over your stove and you can't get it clean anymore, that's because of the grease, the years of cooking, and the grease just floats up there onto that. Oh, great job. Okay, so now we have our last 2 ingredients. Now, we're going to use a little bit less of the Southwest Chipotle. I have to check which one's this. A little bit less of the Southwest Chipotle than it calls for because my meat was taco meat because I had a taco fiesta party for my team last night, so we don't want it, thank you. So we don't want to over season and have it too spicy. So we're going to use our Tupperware measuring spoons, and because I know this is already going to be spicy, and I like it spicy but not so spicy. I like it when it's spicy in the back of the mouth, not in the front of the mouth. So go ahead and do that for us, Rachel. And just give us, that's a teaspoon, and you can scoop it in there.
Put it in there? Okay.
You can scoop it in there. Okay, well, I have a wafer too.
Oh, there.
There you go.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, the only one that doesn't fit in there is the tablespoon. Yep, just sprinkle it all over. There we go. Okay, so that's going to give it a little bit of warmth and smoky flavor. And let me ask you, anybody here allergic to MSG? Yep, me too. That's why my hand is up. I am deathly allergic to MSG. Well, not deathly, but miserably allergic to MSG. Our seasoning blends have no MSG. If you are allergic to MSG, I am going to encourage you not to make the taco soup with this last ingredient. There is no way to find ranch without MSG. Every ranch mix has MSG. But there is something that it does with this. Now, my friend Jill, she's so smart. She buys ranch in quantity in a jar because you know what? Buying in quantity is economical, right? Okay, so we're going to do, the recipe calls for half a package, which is about a tablespoon. So you can have a taste even if you're allergic to MSG unless you're deathly allergic.
And what is this?
This is ranch dressing mix.
Okay.
So just like it came out of the little individual packages, but anytime you buy individual things, you pay more, okay? Anytime you buy already grated cheese, you pay for somebody to grate that. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to put this, yep, I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to put it on there. It's my stuff. It's going to drop on there. Okay. She reorganized my display one day, too. You'll take that back there to the microwave John's standing in front of.
Okay.
And put that in for 5 minutes. We're going to put it on high because we do, everything's cold. The meat's not, usually the meat would be already hot, so I would say put it 5 minutes at power level number 7, which is going to create a simmer in your soup or your stew or your chili. But because my meat came out of the refrigerator, it's cold. So you'll cook that. So what are some things you guys can think about if you were at a party and like Kim was talking about with the caramel corn, filling your canisters with caramel corn. Anybody have a great caramel corn recipe? Tupperware does. And I'm sure that the candy, I think the candy stuff, did you wind up transferring it, all the candy recipes, Wendy?
I think there's a few of them.
Okay. Otherwise, write this down if you have your pen and paper ready. You can find the candy recipes at siteimpressions.com, siteimpressions.com. I love making candy because I don't have to cook over the stove. I don't make candy well if I cook it over the stove. So how many of you could take your hosts on a journey and their guests? Yeah? What do you think? Do you think that'd be pretty simple and easy? Ask your host. Make it fun. Ask every guest. Tell your host, here's your ingredient list. Have every guest bring a can. Rachel, can you bring the corn? Not the the creamed corn, but the corn, just a can of corn in the juice.